Then let it be. I don't know what they done told you. Don't let them fold you. Keep it the letter G. Humble yourself with the patience. You got the pace to get where you wanna be. All the pain just show that you seasoned. Gotta believe it. Just give me the cheat code. And none of the struggles come with the glory. Tell them to keep those. All of the pain just come with the game. I treat them like free throws. All of the evil sticking around. I had to delete those. Yeah, I had to defeat those. Just give me the cheat code.
What's going on, y'all, man? That song is always a banger. Let me pull up the chat, make sure I got y'all locked in. Cool, we good. Audio is good. I want to make sure that I don't lose you all this time, but I want to continue this series that we've been on, PLTR. If you got any tickers you want to talk about, drop them in the comments. We'll go over those as well at the end, have a live Q&A as well. If you got some questions, just drop them over there in the chat. I'll be looking at that. Hey, what's good? Okay, so I want to continue what we've been talking about. Last two lives, we went over how to chart support and resistances, right? We also went over some things that you all need to watch in the market in order for you to know whether you need to be bullish or bearish, and those being the dollar, the VIX, and also inverse ETFs. All of these have inverse relationships when it comes to the market. Okay, so we want to make sure that you're watching those. Another thing, we have another video totally on the dollar. Okay, there's literally a crazy strategy on the dollar that allows you to trade over any market. Okay, because the dollar is weighed against so many assets that we invest in, that we trade as well. When you go to buy them, they're in dollars. Okay, so as the dollar increases in value, a lot of times these assets actually decrease in value. Okay, because the dollar gets stronger, it takes more dollars to purchase them. Okay, and so when the dollar is increasing in value, and it's increasing in value and going up, it will bring stocks down. Okay, now when the dollar decreases in value, other assets go up because it takes more dollars to actually purchase those. So pay attention to the dollar. It's a powerful asset that you can watch, and indicator that you can use in any market, whether you trade commodities with futures, Forex, stocks and options, cryptocurrencies. You can use the dollar across them all as an indicator to whether you need to be bullish or bearish. Okay. So last time we went over these. So if you want to check those out, they're in the other live videos on YouTube. But just to kind of go over where we're at, I got the S&P 500 pulled up right now. The ticker is SPX. We've got it here with the cheat code algo. So just to kind of show you just a quick rundown of what we went over before I go into what's next, because today I actually want to go over how to set alerts so that you all don't have to watch the market. Okay. A lot of people are like, how do you find the patience to watch the market? I don't. I literally just set alerts, allow the market to come to me. Okay, so with all the things that we know with the inverses in the relationship to the stock market, as well as whether we need to be bullish or bearish, when we use the cheat code algo, we can actually set alerts so that we know when to come to the market to find the best opportunities for the highest probability. Okay, because honestly, like I said, when we're doing supports and resistance, the stock market really is pretty easy, right? So let's go over this really quick. We're going to do a quick recap of what we went over. All right. So a lot of times, like I said, you want to use larger time frames to really find larger trends. Okay. So when you're looking at the weekly, you can see right here, if we put an extended line here from this peak to this one right here, this was this trend line that had been respected and rejected all of 2022. Okay. Now it broke over this. So when we move down lower to the daily, you can kind of see the action that happened around there. Okay, so you can see here it rejected all of 22, completely rejected, right? We're in 2023 now. It finally wants to break over it. Had a lot of turbulence here, came back, turbulence, still broke over it, right? So we can still have this trend line here as sort of a reminder of where we came from, right? Because one thing that we do know is that we can always retrace here to really kind of reclaim this trend line and maybe go higher, right? So you want to pay attention to this major trend line. That's one. But not all trend lines are going to be diagonal, right? You're also going to have trend lines that are just horizontal, and that's going to be based off of price. So we can see that around this, let's say 4,100. 4,100, we'll just say that's a psychological number for the S&P 500. But you can see here, there's a lot of action around here. It came nearly close to here, spiked back up, right? Came here, completely rejected here, collapsed, literally consolidated and collapsed, right? Came, rallied back up here, consolidated, peaked up, came back, consolidated, crashed through, spiked back to it, rejected it, right? So what was seeming to be support over here, right, became now resistance once it broke out, right? Resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, and then it broke up, right? So it could use this 4,100 level as support if it reclaims it. Now, I try not to just use one line here because you don't want to just, there's no way to actually time the market. So you want to create these ranges, right? So if we're looking at this, we know here that our entry for the cheat code algo is set at 40.60 on the S&P 500. So you can add a line there, right? And you can say that this area here is a strong resistance, right? This is an area of supply right now. This is where people are selling. Now, why would I say that? One, we got a red indicator here after we hit this second take profit level on this bullish momentum that we have here, right? Now, our squeeze is a bit high over here. It's already signaled here, and our swing is starting to turn downward. Now, you wouldn't just automatically turn bearish here because we haven't had a 4-for-4 confirmation. That being saying that I want this to be signaling, I want this to be signaling, I want indicator to be here, and then I want a sell signal, right? That's going to give me a lot more clarity on whether I need to be bearish from here because, like I said, this can either be an area of supply or demand to rally up to maybe hit some of these higher price targets. So when it comes to support and resistance, I hope I'm not losing anybody. Is everybody following around? Let me just get a 1 in the chat if you're with me. A 2 if you're just completely lost and you don't know what's going on. Just so I know that, all right, you all are with me. So we're going to keep going here. But now that we know that, hey, okay, this range right here is either going to be resistance or support. Right now, if we can't hold this 40.60, we can definitely see the market pulling back. Now that we have watched the support and resistance for the market, right? Now that we know that we can either rally up from this area or we can break down from this area. Now I want to see that, okay, now that I know where the market is, what about things that are in the inverse of the market? So when we take a look at the dollar, last time we looked at it, I had this area circled here. So if you look back at previous videos, you can see we were kind of breaking this area down because previously we've been here, right? So when you chart these levels, when you chart this 101, Y101, well, you can see a lot of these days consolidated here and maybe had lows with the wicks, right? So these wicks tell us the lows here. So a lot of days it literally hit 101 and then just kind of hit some dojis, just meaning that it was unchanged. It's totally just consolidating, right? Caution candle here, rallied off of here, and then came back, fell through, but found support here, right? Caution candle. We have the regular bullish divergence here with the signal on the squeeze plus the swing. When you talk about a 4-for-4, this is it, right? This was a 4-for-4 on the dollar when we were looking at it just from support, right? You got a caution candle here. You got a buy signal. You got the regular bullish divergence with the signal from the squeeze to confirm this, right? Then you had the swing confirm as well. So, I mean, just off of this caution candle and being at this area of support when you know we've come out of here before, man, I just wish I traded Forex. I don't, but if I did, I would kill it. Because like I said, the dollar is a powerful instrument and index that you can use to trade any market. Because like I said, when this goes up, other assets go down. So to kind of recap what we went over last time, I'll show you what I mean by that. So if we compare the dollar to the SPX where we were just charting, right, we can see here that literally as the dollar spiked up, it pulled the market down. Okay, so as the dollar went up, the market went down. Okay, the dollar going up here, the market coming down over here, right? So it's literally trying to hold itself up here. When you start to really kind of look lower too, you can even set a line here if you wanted to set a line to say that, hey, we already have it at 41. This is a different chart. When you do this 2 charts, it doesn't put your old lines there, but we already know this 4,100 level is crucial. Because like I said, it rejected here. It had to break through here, but it came right back. Okay, so next week is going to be pivotal because next week we have inflation data. Okay, on the 14th we have CPI, which is the consumer price index, and then on the 16th we have producer price index. Excuse me, that's another inflation data. One telling us how much has prices increased for consumers, the other telling us how much has prices increased for producers. All right, 111. Everybody's understanding. I love this. I love this. You all are getting this. Okay, you're going to be masters at this. Okay, I'm trying to turn y'all into ninja traders. Okay, now that we know the dollar is at support, the dollar rallied up, right? Now, I'm not going to say that the dollar is just going to keep, I mean, it can, right? I'm not going to say that it will because we don't know I can't predict the market, right? But we can see here that it's been some consolidation here. The dollar may cool off, right? The dollar may cool off and then allow the market to really retest this area right here because 4,200 or 420 on the SPY is a major resistance, right? Like we know that when it gets up there, it's almost like no chance of survival past 4160 or 416 on the SPY, right? Once it gets up here, just collapse. Once it gets up here, collapse, right? Now, what is the dollar doing during that time, right? Let's take a look at that so I can show you all the relationship between the two. So when the market is going down, you can see the dollar is going up, right? Now, when the market is going up, you can see the dollar going down. All right, it's literally that easy, y'all. It's that easy. So when the market is this high, the dollar is lower, right? The dollar can, and this is previous support, right? We can see here that it tried to break over, came back, and it came back to this level, right? So this is old support. So if we drew a line here, you can see here that this was a resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, and then it became support here, right? Support here, rallied up, came back, support here. But when it was at support here, right, after it broke over this resistance, came back and retested it, you can see the market was at its peak, right? So it's the dollar's consolidating. It's like I'm just waiting to go ahead and get some support here and then rally up and pull the market on down. I'm pulling it down, pulling it down, pulling it down because the dollar's going up. So now that we know how to chart supports and resistances, and now we know how to actually use inverses in the market or inverse relationships when it comes to the VIX, because we can put the VIX up too. It's the same thing. You know, you're going to be looking at literally the same looking chart. It's at support, right? Oh, I'm over here drawing horizontal lines. Okay, so the VIX is at support as well. It rallied off of this, which, like I said, when it goes up, it brings the market down, right? When the VIX was at its peak, the market was at support. When the VIX is at support, the market's at a peak, right? And when it goes up, it's bringing the market down, okay? So that's what happened here. It got some support, caution candle here. That's why I say the cheat code is crucial, man. It gives you the warnings. And like I said, you want to wait for these different types of confirmations. You had a hidden bullish divergence here. You had the caution candle here, bouncing off of this take profit level, plus the confirmation from the swing here. And like I said, if you know the market, like if I'm down here at support and I know the market is at resistance, right, I can be more confident in my bearish trade if that's what I'm going to do, right? And if you're a bull, let's say you like being a bull, right? All right, well, when the VIX is at highs and the market is finding support here, right? So if I put a horizontal line here, we can see here in the past, it had some support here, and we'll put like the maxes down here. And this is our demand zone, right, for the SPY. So I can see here when the market or the VIX is at its peak, I need to be looking for opportunities in the market because it's in its demand zone, right? When the VIX goes to supply, the market is in demand, okay? So that's why I say, as investors and traders, you all need to be using this. This is an essential strategy for you all. So make sure I don't have any questions. 111s, everybody's understanding. Cool. Now that we know how to take the relationship between the dollar, the VIX, the stock market, and inverse ETFs, now that we know how they work with each other, now let's set alerts, right? So let's go back to our regular chart. And if, let's say, if I want to be a bear, okay, then I need to be looking for bullish momentum on the VIX. Okay, so I can go in here and say, hey, cheat code algo, I need you to tell me when you turn bullish, right? Whether it's a bullish trend change or bullish trend confirmation or a buy signal, right? Because we're just waiting on this to turn bullish, right? So when we're looking at the VIX, if you want to be bearish, you want a bullish confirmation on the VIX. Okay, so we've got a caution candle here. We've got the hidden bullish divergence. We got the swing already confirming that this change in direction is happening, right? And we're all red down here, so we're low. We're super low on the swing. The swing needs to come out of this area, right? Now, if we know that, I'm waiting on a bullish confirmation with this buy signal, right? Because when this goes up, the market comes down, right? So if I want to be bullish or bearish in this case, then I need to be bullish on the VIX. Okay, so in that case, I set an alert. Let me know when the VIX goes to buy or bullish trend and all of that. And it's literally going to send you the entry, stop loss, and take profits for the VIX so that you know that, hey, once it gets to this take profit level of 1, or even let's say you're at stop loss and it needs to go to the entry, you can use these different levels to say that, hey, okay, I know that if I need the VIX to be bullish and I'm hitting my price targets, then I realize there's going to be more resistance in order for the VIX to continue to go higher, right? Which means that you're bearish. You may want to start taking profits because the market could reverse and turn bullish, right? So keep these things in mind, but I use them as a matter of patience. I don't have to sit here and watch these candles go up and down and turn red and green and possibly give me a yellow caution candle. I don't have to sit here and wait for the signals. I let the signals tell me when they're there, right? And so I can come in here, set this signal. It's going to send me a notification with a link to the chart. You click create. Once the alerts start coming in, they'll come to you here, right? And so I particularly love trading. I feel like fear moves faster than greed. So I'm particularly a bear when it comes to the market. I feel like it pays faster. That's my personal strategy. I'm all about investing and doing long-term strategies, but at the same time, with us trying to fight inflation, this is a great time for bears to make money, and I feel, like I said, fear pays a lot faster than greed. Okay. But that is not financial advice, but it should be common sense. Okay. Any questions? So now that we know how to set up these alerts, like I said, you can use this across any market as well. So let's say you're using the dollar strategy and you are, saying, hey, well, the dollar's already turned bullish. Okay. So we already got the buy signal on it. But let's say, okay, like right now, you can see here that we've got some consolidation because this is a previous area, right? So why is it consolidating here? Because if we look left, I always tell people, look left, right? We can delete this line here because I don't want to confuse you, because this is all right. I can get rid of that for now, because in the past, you can see here that our wicks were really using this area to come off, right? And in the past, it was a lot of rejection here. Rejection, came to it, broke through it, came back to it, used it as support and rallied up, right? But came back to it and consolidated here for weeks, right? Each one of these candles is a day. Okay, so consolidated here for weeks, then broke through to a lower previous support. Okay, and then rallied up. So the dollar's already got a buy signal, right? I mean, you talk about a 4 for 4 on the dollar. If, like I said, if you were trading Forex, this was like, I don't know, this was like a give me with the cheat code. Like I said, this sets you up properly. And if you know technical analysis with support and resistance, you can see what happened here last time, right? If you want to be bullish on the market, right, you need the dollar to be bearish, okay? Because you've seen that the dollar has found support before, had a buy signal, but we didn't get a 4 for 4 here. We only had a buy signal. We had a regular bullish divergence, but no signal from the squeeze, and we didn't have a signal from the swing either. Okay, so we were still riding from this momentum here, but we really needed a lot more confirmation here in order for this to really be a bullish trend change, right? Because it ran straight into this trend cloud and got rejected to lower prices, which we've seen before. So no fear, right? So the dollar bounces up, runs into this previous area that will support, now into resistance, right? It's consolidated here. So it's a pivotal moment for the dollar. It needs to break above this 103.50. It needs to break above this 103.50. You can see here on cheat code algo, they got the entry at 103 on the bullish. So you can see that 103 in general for the dollar is a critical area. Okay, it may consolidate between 103 and 103.50 for as long as it wants, right? But let's say you want to be bullish. You need the dollar to be bearish because you want to be bullish on the market. Set an alert for that, right? Come in here and say, hey, when the dollar goes to sell, Let me know, because that gives me more confidence in being bullish in the market. Because if the dollar changes trend to go, and you can, like I said, you can do a bearish trend change on the dollar, you can do a bearish trend confirmation, right? All of these things are going to be sent through by signals from the cheat code algo. So you got to have the cheat code algo in order for this to happen. If you want the cheat code algo, there's a link in the description of this video below, so you can click there and get the cheat code algo. But this is going to let you know, right? Because if you're trading the dollar right now, you can see that we've got a red indicator. We've got some consolidation here with a caution candle. So that doesn't mean that this is just going to completely reject, but that does mean that we could certainly consolidate in this range, or even this tight entry to 103.50, because we've seen that it's definitely a crucial level for the dollar. So it's not going to just instantly spike out of here. It's not going to instantly reject from this. It could consolidate and go sideways, or even stay in this range here. So, but pay attention to it, because if you're a day trader, it still moves within that day, right? So you're going to have some days that'll pull down, which will make stocks go up, and you'll have some days where it'll spike up, which will bring stocks down. So pay attention to this, because you can use this even on smaller time frames. If you're a day trader, you can turn the dollar on an hour and just trade this, right? Because you know, if the dollar is below its support level, then I can be more bearish here, right? But if I'm up here, then I can be a little more maybe bullish if I'm expecting this to pull back. If I'm a day trader, I can expect maybe a bullish pullback, and this would pull the dollar back, right? So you can always use this on smaller time frames if you like. But I usually try to stick to larger time frames, because I want to see big picture. To me, it's about, a lot of things can happen in a day, but I want to know, how did it end, right? Where did the market really want to put the period to the sentence, right? Because a lot of people have to reclaim certain areas in order for them to set the tone, right? And if you can't do that, then there's weakness in what I'm saying, right? And if you can, then it gives more momentum to whatever you're trying to accomplish. So any questions? No questions? Still ones? Everybody's understanding? Drop a 2 if you don't. But this is how you set alerts. And these alerts, when you set them, like I said, they'll come in right here, and they'll let you know, hey, and you can set notes in them as well. But you can also set price alerts. So if you're like, hey, let me know when the dollar goes above 103.50, because if the dollar goes above 103.50, it could potentially run higher to 105, right? And why 105? Well, we can see here it's a previous area of support and resistance. So it could definitely be some resistance here if the dollar rallies higher, right? Now, if the dollar rallies higher, it's going to bring stocks down. That's why I say it's important for you all to watch the dollar, because you can use it against so many different markets and assets that you trade on and invest in on a daily basis. Okay. Even if you travel, I travel around the world, and like watching the dollar allows me to know when I can get the best value for my dollar when it comes to currencies, right? Like when the dollar is at its peak, at its highest, I need to be traveling because my dollar is stronger, right? But when the dollar is lower, my dollar is weaker. Other currencies are stronger against the currency, right? So if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'll put another currency next to it, so you can see that this goes across any market. Okay. So when the dollar is coming down, you can see that the pound is going up. Okay. So I'm losing. Let me make this smaller. I'm losing as my dollar goes down, the pound gets stronger. Now, when the dollar spikes, you can see it pulls the pound down, right? And they're 1 and 1. I mean, it's consolidating. So is the pound, right? And that's why I say, so I know that I can travel more here, right? I can travel all around the world and flex on every country. I think Argentina was giving me 3 times my dollars in their pesos during this time. I was there in September. You can look at my Instagram. I was there in September, and they gave me 3 times the exchange. They wanted dollars so bad that they gave me 3 times worth in pesos of their own currency. So I know I can travel here. I can get more on my dollar. My dollar goes further in other countries here. Okay. And also it's going to bring down other currencies, right? And assets, right? So when we look back at the market, when the dollar's at its peak, what is the market doing? It's in its demand zone. It's in the opportunity to buy. And the same thing with the VIX. I told y'all, you need to watch the VIX, because like a lot of people are buying when the VIX is low, and that's not a good idea, right? Like rule of thumb for investors is like when the VIX is below 20, you you bat the hatches, you hedge, you protect, right? And when the VIX is above 30, you look for buying opportunities. We can see what happens when the VIX is above 30. All right. Let me squish this here. So VIX is above 30, markets dipping, right? VIX is above 30, markets dipping, right? VIX above 30, markets dipping. VIX above 30 again, markets dipping for even better prices. What do you want to do, right? But when the VIX is lower, market's peaking, man, right? VIX is lower, market's peaking. What are you doing? Huh? You want to see the VIX is lower too? You want to look back? What happened here? VIX lower, market's peaking. Okay. So stop buying assets when VIX is lower. Okay. I mean, that's not financial advice, but it should be common sense. And that's what's unfortunate. A lot of people out there, man, look at all these prices. Stop focusing on prices. You need to learn how to use technical analysis, because you can use all the fundamental analysis in the world and you can say this stock is worth this price and it's evaluated at this. But that price doesn't mean a thing if technical analysis doesn't tell you the best time to buy that, right? Because fundamental analysis is about what stock to buy. Technical analysis is about when to buy it. And when the VIX is lower, it's not a great time to be purchasing assets because they're going to lose value, right? This is a time of greed when it's lower, okay? Is this making sense to everybody? Everybody drop a 1 if this makes sense. But I have another class coming up that we got to teach. So if you're not in the cheat code community, it's totally free. We also offer a premium where we do live trading streams from futures, Forex, cryptocurrencies, futures. I mean, I already said futures, but stocks and options. We do it all. We even have these. Oh, I got these flashcards here. If you go to our Instagram, I showed you a really cool trick on the live where you can use these to actually look up chart patterns. But this is a great way for you to study chart patterns and really chart patterns are crucial. Don't ever play yourself, okay? I've seen them play out all the time. So it's crucial for you to know what's going on in the market so that you can be prepared for those types of things. I'll show you this one, for example, a head and shoulders pattern that happened on this inverse right here. So this is the shoulders right here, shoulder, head, right? And look at it, that's a bearish pattern, right? It just broke and fell to support, right? But this is another thing you need to keep your eye on. This is an inverse ETF, okay, which is at a support, right? So when we talk about, putting these types of things side by side with the market, we can put the market over here so you can see when this is high, the market is low. When this goes lower, the market is higher, okay? So this is another thing that if this joker, this inverse here finds support, which it has done in this area before and rallied really high, okay? And which is, like I said, it's support, and it's rallied here. It's rallied here again, and it's here again, and we're pretty low. The squeeze has signaled. The swing is pretty low. It hasn't signaled yet. But like I said, if you want to be bearish on the market, right, you can come here and say, hey, set an alert and tell me when cheat code algo is a buy on this or when this goes bullish because I need to be bearish. Or if you're like, man, this rally has been nice for me and you're a bull and you're like, I wonder when I should take profits, you can use these types of alerts to say that, okay, maybe if this is gone bullish, that means that my asset is going bearish and I need to maybe take some profits or hedge or find another strategy or just hold, just know it's coming. I think sometimes your emotions would be better if you actually knew what was coming and when there was better opportunities, right? So that you're actually deploying capital at better times. And so if you watch all of these videos from our live streams, you alone can become a efficient, at least investor, right? Like trading, it's going to take you a little more time, do some paper trading. But when it comes to investing, it's crucial for you all to be looking for a better opportunity. So you need to be watching the dollar. You need to be watching inverse ETFs as well as the VIX, because that's going to tell you when it's the better opportunities for you to either invest or become bearish or whatever you want to do. Like I said, watch the other videos. It'll let you know when to be bullish, bearish, what assets to watch, and how to trade them. So I got another class to teach. But if you want to get in the community, just there's links in the description below. If you got any questions, just drop them in the comments, or you can head over to our Instagram. We post reels there and information and news all day, every day. Make sure you hit that like button before you leave, okay? Because I'm not going to keep doing lives if y'all ain't liking the video. So before you leave, drop a like. And pass this on with a friend. Share this knowledge because this is about changing lives for everybody, right? So we have a free community as well. So if you want access to the free community, go over to our Instagram and just comment free. And then I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna send you a link. And if you don't get the link, just DM us and I'm in the DM. So I'll send you a link to that as well because we want everybody to have this information. This year is going to be pivotal. There's going to be a lot of opportunities coming up. So definitely you want to be prepared for them when they come. So let's get it, man. I'm glad y'all are here. I really appreciate y'all coming and spending the weekend with me. I know you could be doing so many other things, so I appreciate y'all being here with me. We're going to do this a lot more. Make sure you go to the Instagram, comment on this video as well, and tell us what you thought, what you could learn, what we could do better, what you want videos of, and that we can bring it to you and host some more lives. And y'all stay tuned because we got some events coming up too. In-person classes. Oh, I ain't going to tell you what we got coming up in May. But mark your calendars, okay? It's about to get crazy out there for Cheat Code, all right? Y'all stay focused, stay locked in. If you want access for free, just go to the Instagram, comment free, and I'll send you a link. It's been a blessing. It's been fun, and I wish y'all the best, man. And ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions because that's how you're going to get better, all right? Stay blessed.